Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello and welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you're back, welcome back. Today I'm here to join you guys for my weekly WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me, whether that's working on a diamond painting or some other craft, or if I'm keeping you company while you're running errands or cleaning, or just whatever you're up to today. So happy Monday, we made it. I feel like this has just become a sort of normal disclaimer at the beginning of my WIP and Chats in particular that my apologies for my neighbor's dog. Hopefully he'll settle down shortly. He just, of course, waited until I started to start chattering himself. But yes, so what I'm going to be doing today, as opposed to working on a diamond painting, is I thought that we would do a little kit up together. And I'm going to be kitting up the Museum Edition mini set from Paint Gem because I do want to work on some other old masters type paintings before the end of July and before the Summer with the Masters event ends, which that's an event that I've been hosting since the beginning of June, and it's going to be coming to a close here in just a couple weeks. But I wanted to work on some other event-related projects, and this had been on my radar for a while, so this is what we're going to kit up today. And I thought we would branch out just a little bit, because typically when you see me do a kitting up video, or you see what my storage system looks like and everything, my go-to is the Elizabeth Ward storage set. Excuse me. You're also going to hear some coughing and maybe a little bit of shortness of breath from me. I'm recovering from bronchitis, and that's just kind of a lingering effect. So apologies for that. Anyway, Paint Gem, I am an affiliate for Paint Gem, so let me give you that full disclosure. I purchased the Museum Edition myself, but recently Paint Gem had sent me one or two sets. Again, I purchased this once. They sent me some other ones along with this accessory set and some other accessories to use. And I genuinely want to try this out to see if it's a more just sort of space conscious and travel friendly storage solution. So it's a little zipper pouch, and inside it has these smaller screw top bottles. So we'll see how well the little Ziploc baggies fit into these. Excuse me. And then I went ahead and tucked in here because in that same order they'd sent me some other accessories like this set of different metal tips and an acrylic pen, which I popped one of the tips into, and an anti-slip mat and a funnel. So I don't really know if we'll need the funnel, but it's there. And then this will have a basic toolkit inside. So I will do my best to link to these different tools. I know they sometimes go out of stock, as do sometimes the mini sets, but they also do restocks relatively frequently. So I sign up for their emails and I check back pretty regularly. They also regularly release they regularly are releasing new themed sets as well. I did complete one of these sets previously. Before I became an affiliate, I completed a set and showcased a couple of different ways to display them. And so I'll do my best to remember to link to that review video so that you can take a look at what one of these sets can look like completed. But this is the Museum Edition, and here we've got all the different artworks that are in this set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in total. So some of these look rather almost comically pixelated, but some of them I think are quite pretty enough to display. Excuse me. I'm going to try popping in a cough drop, and we're going to see if that helps a little bit. I also have my water handy. The air quality here has been pretty poor in addition to it being pretty hot, and so that is just really aggravating things for me. And so so my apologies. I know it's kind of obnoxious to have to listen to someone cough and kind of catch their breath and wheeze a little bit. So, but I also know you guys understand. There was a ton of very sweet support on last week's WIP and Chat where I expressed some we'll say trepidation, where I worried that people might be frustrated or annoyed. Oops, sorry. That I was talking about being sick. so often. And you guys were very sweet about that. So anyway, in your paint gem, if you didn't see this, by the way, I'm a sucker for really good branding, and Paint Gem has nailed it. I'll tell you what though, a year and a half ago, this was not their setup. I feel like this is kind of a more recent thing, and I feel like it really elevates the product a lot. I feel like you could very easily travel with your paint gem set just in here. Actually, I know you can because I did it. I regularly traveled with this set, which was I think the National Park set. And I made myself I just used the box to store everything. I worked out of these Ziploc baggies that they came in, and I only used the tools that came in their basic tool set. I just was like, I often say things like, this has everything you need to do your diamond painting. And I thought, let me put my money where my mouth is, or I guess it's not really a good way to put it. Let me actually test that theory and see, is this actually the case? Do I agree with this sentiment? And I will say yes, with the exception of I'd like a bigger tray. It was a little bit frustrating sometimes to work out of such a small tray, especially because I'm a multi-placer. Also, ooh, those are really heckin' sharp. There's something else in there. Yeah, squishy. I loathe plastic tweezers. They're, in my opinion, just a pain in the butt to work with. These are better than some plastic tweezers. I'm not a fan. They're all over the place. Give me metal tweezers with pointed ends any day. So that's my honest feedback, but I did complete that entire set with only the tools that came in my kit. But for this time around, I'll probably use the acrylic pen they sent me, and I'll grab a little bit bigger tray to work out of because I don't need to be a glutton for punishment. I did it once. I don't feel like I need to do it again. So anyway, and then we've got this really cute setup in here. And here's our canvases. I think that this was the very, very, very first set that they did. I'm pretty confident of it actually, because one, I went on the website and I sorted by date, earliest to latest, and this was the first one, the Museum Edition, plus PGN Mini 01. All of their kits are numbered, and like the later ones have, increasingly larger numbers. So I'm pretty sure that this was the very first set. So anyway, we have these different pieces again. Some of them I feel like are going to translate a little better than others. I'm excited for this one because this is actually artwork that I would really enjoy working on as a large size diamond painting. The Mona Lisa with her single dots for eyes. The Scream. What was this one called? The Son of Man. And then Sunflowers. Composition. What's that? Composition Mondrian. And then The Kiss. Starry Night, of course. I'm looking forward to that one as well. And then the girl with the pearl earring again. So cute little canvases. As far as my sort of how I track projects and diamond paintings go, I'm not going to count each of these individually as a finish. I'm going to count the entire set as one finish. I don't know why that is. It's like I want to feel like my what I have in my logbook, or when I say like I've completed this many diamond paintings. To me, it just feels like cheating to complete that. To myself, you do whatever you want. For me, I'm like, these are tiny. I could do this in an hour. I just think, no, like even counting all 10 of them as a finish feels a little bit like cheating, especially when I compare it to my big WIP that I have going at the moment. Which is, I'll tell you about more in a minute. So that's just my thing, is think, well, I'll count the set as a finish. So I'm hoping I can finish just a few a day and kind of, intersperse it with some other stuff. Then we get this color chart, which on the other set that I fully completed, I didn't take the stickers off. I just used this as kind of a walking legend. For this one though, we'll go ahead and we'll put these on the storage containers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, so 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then we've got, okay, so we should have exactly enough in here for that because it's 6 by 5. Whew, okay, did I have that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, okay, so 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, and then here's our bags of diamonds. I also have dryer sheets handy. because I did have static in the set that I did before. They were staticky. So I'm not looking to cause myself a headache here. All right, so, and then each of the bags, let's see. All right, so we have the number 1, which if you took this sheet and numbered it from 1 to 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., that's what this number is. So 1, and then 5200 is the DMC code, and then 6.1 is the weight in either grams or ounces. We're probably gonna get this all kitted up pretty early in this WIP and Chat, and so then I'll grab one of these and we'll get started on it. Just because why not? So actually, yeah, I think you can see some static in this bag already. And any of these that don't fit all the, like that the jar doesn't fit all the way, I'll leave it in the bag and I'll tuck it in that pocket up there, I think. Okay, let's do this too. This is maybe the smart way to help. Okay. I'm making a mess. Not a shocker. Okay. Excuse me. So we're gonna have our tray, we're gonna have our jar, and then I've got my dryer sheets over there, and we'll get into it. So hi. Oh yeah, look at that static, you guys. Do you see that? So here's how I handle this. I'll go back to what I was saying about hi in just a sec. So let me show you what I do. In the case of this, which yes, there's a lot of static in there, but there are some diamonds down in here. If I try to put one dryer sheet in now, one is probably not gonna be enough. It might be a little bit of a headache. So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour out as much as I can. And then we're gonna grab a dryer sheet. I literally have a Ziploc bag full of cut up dryer sheets because I'll cut a bunch at once, and then I'll cut up 1 or 2 dryer sheets at once and then have it all there. So anyway, now I'm gonna drop that dryer sheet in there. This might need 2 dryer sheets. I'm gonna zip it closed, and then I'm just gonna kind of make sure the dryer sheet gets to as much of this as possible. Yeah, I think I might need another dryer sheet. Or you can do this. That works too. All right, yeah, so this whole bag isn't quite gonna fit in there. That's totally fine. I'm gonna leave that dryer sheet in there just to make it easier on myself. And then I'm gonna put this off to the side so that I can refill this as needed. Put that little top on there, random loose drill. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use these sticker labels because I wanna try it out. Okay. Ooh, and it does fit perfectly. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. So anyway, what were we saying? Hi, how are you today? I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start so far. Happy Monday. I hope that you had a good weekend. We went and saw some family on Friday actually, and it was really nice and had a pretty relaxing weekend. I did get a good amount of progress done on my kit outside the sweet shop. And that project, it's always interesting to tackle projects like this. So outside the sweet shop is this really large scale project that I started not quite a month ago. And it's an epic scale project, partly because of the size, but mostly because of the number of colors. It's 60 by 80, which is not an outrageously large kit. But when it's pure confetti, due to having 197 colors in it, that makes it a little bit more of an undertaking. So it's called Outside the Sweet Shop. It's by the artist Helcorio, licensed from, I almost said Diamond Painting Deutschland. No. It was Diamond Painting Deutschland is the company that I got my other Max Color project kits from back in the day. Number 2, 162, perfect. This is a different and new to me company. This is literally the first kit that I've worked on from this company. And I'll tell you what, the process of working on it has been really rewarding. It's been a really nice quality kit. And I've been really impressed with this company's customer service. They have been super, super, super communicative with their customers about just sort of when. I always forget, by the way. Sorry, pause that thought. If you have Ziploc baggies like this, I don't know if you saw me struggling just a moment ago. If you want to easily open them, just slide, like just push on either side and then slide and they'll just pop right open. Some people will say snap, but like I push and I slide. Let's just, there's a small enough amount in here. Let's go ahead and tuck a dryer sheet in there. So I've been really impressed with their customer service in particular because outside the sweet shop, along with some of the other kits that they have from this artist, have been much more popular than they anticipated. And they've been getting a ton of messages of, when are these coming back in stock? What's going on? I really want these kits, et cetera, et cetera. And they have gone above and beyond with how much they've communicated and listening to their customers and everything. And I always say that that's 90% of the job with owning a shop, as owning a small shop in particular, especially if you have, I hesitate to use the word issue because this is not an issue. It's just the reality of the situation. Is just talking to people, letting them know what's going on. And 90% of the time, people are going to be very understanding if you just let them know, hey, here's we hear you, here's what's going on. So anyway, here we go again. We're just going to pinch and snap and bend and snap. If you know what that's from. So it's just been a joy to work on all around. And I did talk with them briefly because they were really trying to kind of pinpoint and figure out, okay, what was it about these kits that has them so much more popular than we anticipated? And I shared just my thoughts, as of course, take it with a grain of salt. I think this is probably what's been sort of lightning in a bottle with these kits. And so I saw that they opened up pre-orders. Actually, they asked first for feedback. Do people want pre-orders or not? They said they don't want this to be a big part of their business model as the rule, because they don't feel great about taking people's money without being able to immediately turn around and ship out product. But they still wanted to know, is this something that people would like to do? And it was a pretty resounding yes. And so they did open up pre-orders just for outside the sweet shop and a few other kits by the same artist. So I think that I'm pretty sure they're still available right now. So feel free to go check out Diamond Art Studio UK's website if you want to try to snag one. If you don't live in the UK, shipping is expensive, but they're not making money on shipping. International shipping of diamond paintings is outrageous. The shipping is extremely quick, though. I absolutely have to give them that. Plus, you can combine shipping. So if you order more than one kit, it's not like $30 or $40 per kit in shipping. You can save if you get more than one kit. So I am debating if I want to grab any of the other Helcorio kits, but working on outside the sweet shop has been quite the undertaking, and I don't see myself working on another Max Color kit really soon. When I take on projects like that, it takes a little bit more of a mental toll. It's more effort for my brain. And as someone that is motivated by finishing kits and wants to finish diamond painting kits, and starts to sort of feel twitchy when it takes a long time to finish diamond painting kits, working on big projects like this that end up taking me weeks and weeks, I can't do it all the time because I start to feel like I don't have momentum or, that kind of thing. So I've had kind of laser focus on this project for the past week, especially, and have just thought I want to finish it. I really just want to finish this project. I want to have it done. I want to have a review, and I want to be able to sort of mentally go ahead and shift to the next thing. And that feeling is not a reflection of my actual enjoyment of the project. It's just a reality of how I handle diamond painting projects. So that's funny because I regularly tell people, just relax. Like, the craft should be for enjoyment. Don't pressure yourself to finish kits or anything like that. Like, just enjoy it. But I do often get to a point where I'm like, I just need to be done. So I've had very laser focused, and I think it's possible, knock on wood, based on how fast I'm finishing the sections and the amount of color blocking that's here in the last row that I'm on, the last column that I'm on, I might finish it tomorrow, which is today for you guys, Monday. If not Monday, then Tuesday. But what's happened, because I've gotten such laser focus on this project, is that I've ended up with full-on decision paralysis about other projects I might hypothetically work on. Oops, there's another couple in there. I didn't come anywhere close to running out of any colors on my first set, but I just, I'm paranoid. Those extra 2 diamonds, they might make a difference. That's just a tiny bit of trash. Okay, it's 336. Anyway, I was saying it's given me a little bit of decision paralysis for other projects where I really thought that I was going to want to kit up after I finished the Make Market kit that I showed you guys last week, the Make Market kit of the dance class by Edgar Degas. I thought, oh, surely I'm going to want to kit up another small round drill diamond painting kit to sort of alternate with Outside the Sweet Shop. But I couldn't decide. And I would kind of start to be like, oh, maybe I'll pull up this project. And I'd even pull out the box and I kind of look at it and go, no, I'm not feeling it. And I think the problem is that I just thought I don't want to start another project because I want to finish Outside the Sweet Shop. And so I kept going, well, I can't decide. I guess I'll just pull out Outside the Sweet Shop and work on it again today. And I'll revisit this tomorrow or later or whatever. And now it's a week later. I have not kitted up another project. And Outside the Sweet Shop is almost done. So I do have a few sneak peeks that are supposed to be coming in this week for Diamond Art Club. And one of them in particular, I think I might work on right away. I think that's my sneak peek for this weekend. Hoping that we're shifting towards the warehouse being able to get this stuff shipped out more promptly so that we actually have our sneak peeks in hand on time. I feel so bad for what they've got going on over there. They're getting there. They'll get it ironed out. So I think that might be next, but that's a square drill kit. I just feel like all the kits that I really want to work on are squares. Have square drills. And I have some really pretty kits in my stash that have rounds, but it's just the artwork itself is squares. And I love working on square drill kits. Heck, these paint gem kits are squares. But that's actually one thing I think would make them even more beginner friendly is if they offered these kits in round diamonds. I should ask if they have ever considered that, or if it's just they only offer squares. Their manufacturer only does squares or something. I don't know. But did I just hear a drill go flying? Yep, there it went. Where'd it go? Okay. So yeah, that's kind of the project update. And I knew that I wanted to start on these so that I'd have another summer with the Masters project kind of going. But again, I couldn't even bring myself to kit up these because I thought, no, I want to finish Outside the Sweet Shop. Or I don't want to do another square kit. If I'm going to add another kit to the mix, it has to be a round. So I just am a disaster is really what it is. So we shall see. And I'm also looking ahead to my parents are going to be in town in like a week and a half. And I know that while they're here, I'm going to get much less diamond painting done too. So I knew I wanted to get Outside the Sweet Shop done before they got here. And having something like this to work on that's just really low key and easy to pull out and work on a little bit, like if we're just hanging around the house and chatting or whatnot, it's not a huge deal to do that, as opposed to just, I don't know, the visual of pulling out a giant diamond painting project, I think just has a different look to it than having a smaller one like this. Okay, these big pieces of dryer sheet don't totally want to fit in there. I'm just kind of tucking them in the side. Okay. So other things that are going on. So have you guys been following what's been going on with DIY Moon Shop? Things kind of blew up today. It's Sunday. And I will say that very little of this have I heard directly from Moon Shop yet. I sent them an email later in the day today. And I'm hoping I hear back because I would love to have some words that are straight from them. I've seen screenshots and heard a lot from others about what's going on. And it's just, man, it went kind of nuts. So what's been going on at Moon Shop? So a few weeks ago, They took all of their regular diamond painting kits where you could like pick what size and drill shape and everything you wanted. They took all of those off the website. And they only had like this small selection of ready to ship kits and accessories on the website. And then a little bit later, like a couple weeks ago, they added charts, almost like cross-stitch charts that you could buy the chart and then turn around and source the diamonds and canvases elsewhere. And then unexpectedly, a couple of days ago, the website went down. You'd go to it and it was like, you know, it's like the domain had expired. Their subscription to, you know, Shopify or whatever, or the domain had expired. And it was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? That's when people really started talking and going, what's happening? And there was speculation like, are they rebranding? Was there just a hiccup behind the scenes? What's going on? And then I think several people, not including me, had contacted them by email. And then this morning, apparently they responded, it's Sunday, by the way, they had responded to a couple of people's emails and said, so sorry, excuse me, and said, we've had to close up shop. And it sounds like it's permanent, was the impression that people had and how the email read as well. So there was that. And then separately, I saw someone comment in another group saying that they had heard, they had contacted Diamond Shop about their order that they had placed in May and had gotten a response saying that their order was not going to be fulfilled or refunded. So I don't know what's going on, but that's not good. That's really not good. And like I said, I reached out, just asked a couple of like direct questions. I'm hoping that I'll get a response. That way I have it in writing. I quietly discontinued I ended my affiliate relationship with them a few months back. And I didn't make a public thing of that, but I was attached to them as an affiliate for a while. And so that's why I kind of feel a need to sort of address it just a little bit. We have a big old bag of 310 here. We'll just be able to fit a little bit in this little bottle. But once I have more information and there's more to share, I will do so probably in the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group. But I'm kind of shocked. I'm completely in shock. And I've heard some other things that are equally as shocking that I'm not going to share at this time because I don't have it in writing. But I mean, all this to say, if you placed an order in the past couple months and, I don't know if you've heard from them or if they only responded to people that contacted them with questions. I don't know, like if you paid with PayPal, if you can file a dispute, or if you paid with a credit card, if you can, put in a chargeback request or something like that. I don't know. But I did just want to share what I had noticed today, because most of what I noticed happened in comment sections, and I don't know that necessarily everyone saw it. Part of me is like, should I bring this up right now? But because it's kind of been like an implosion today, and I feel for their family, and I'm sad that it got to this point, and I truly hope that they're able to come out the other side of this as a family. But the way that it was handled from a customer standpoint, and even like as an affiliate, I was still on their affiliate email list, I think, even though I was no longer affiliated with them, because I had gotten a really vague email like a month ago that was kind of like, okay, changes are coming, we're working on, X, Y, and Z, but it was a whole lot of nothing, because they were like, we can't really say that much right now, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think they've been communicating with people, like not regular customers, of course, and then not affiliates or artists. So I don't know. I like I said, I hope that they're okay, but and I wish them the very, very best, but gosh, what a mess, and some really crazy ways to handle things like fulfilling orders for how many months with knowing that you might not be able to fulfill them. So I don't know, you guys. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll try to post updates, an update over in the Facebook group if I hear back from them, if there's something to say. But yeah, so that was kind of a big part of today, and it's one of those things that it was like when I started diamond painting 3 years ago, Diamond Shop was one of the, because at that time there probably were less than 10 companies that had licensed diamond paintings. Literally, I'm not exaggerating, like 5 to 10. And there were probably 5 that were really well known. And Diamond Shop was one of them. They were right up there. And I'm just like, what happened? And it's very sad to sort of get to a place where it's like, that's going to be gone. So at least that's really what it sounds like. So we shall see. But there's a ton of diamond painting shops now. So I mean, there's at least there's that. No shortage of other places to shop, I suppose. But end of an era, I guess. And yeah, so that's kind of that. What else has been going on? As you can hear, I'm kind of coughing, recovering from being sick. I finished a whole round of steroids and antibiotics and all the things. What number is next? 371. I got these like all out of order. What number that is? Did I put something in the wrong spot? There it is. 371. There, I ended up with them in descending order, and I just should have kitted them up in descending order. It's fine. Yeah, so I do feel much better. I'm able to lay down and sleep without feeling like I can't breathe. But I'm definitely noticing that in general my lungs are very sensitive still, and my understanding is that this can just be what happens with bronchitis. It can really take a long time for the for the cough to go away. But it's still so much better than it was. I am finding myself sensitive, like I said, especially the air quality here has been really, really bad. And so between the air quality and the heat, I really can't find myself going outside without getting pretty short of breath and having a lot in the way of coughing fits. I tried to run some errands earlier today, and I kept needing to cough, and I thought, I don't need to be in the middle of Target coughing up a storm, because you know what people look at you and think is going on. I also, when we were down visiting family on on Saturday, we took the kids swimming. We had gone down to Adam's parents' house, and their community has a pool and everything. And there was something about being, I think, close to just sort of the pool fumes when I was in the water. I just could not stop coughing. It was nonstop, but as soon as I'd get out of the water, I was okay. And again, I was like, I don't want to be in the middle of a public pool coughing my lungs up and people going, it's just not a good look. So we did have a nice visit with family. We had some of Adam's extended family was in town, and I was trying to figure out, had they ever even met? I don't think they'd ever met Micah, actually. And it had been a long time since they'd seen Connor. So we had a really nice visit with them, and obviously we swam and had a good time. And sorry, I'm just checking. I saw the cat just went in the litter box. We're having some minor issues with them, but anyway. So we had a really good visit, and it was nice to go down to Adam's parents' house. We hadn't been down in a while. They live about an hour 15 from us with no traffic. And so it was good to get to go down there. The kids, it was also just good to get the kids out of the house and all that. They've been a little cooped up just with, especially me being sick and stuff. So it was good to do that little outing and see family. I discovered a new pizza spot. It was kind of deep dish style pizza while we were down there. It was so we had Hawaiian pizza, which this is one of like the big debates of our time, right? Is, does pineapple belong on pizza? I have been eating Hawaiian pizza for like my whole life, and I love Hawaiian pizza. So, by the way, if you don't know what Hawaiian pizza is, if you live outside the States or just, you don't pizza, Hawaiian pizza has pineapple and ham or Canadian bacon on it. But it's apparently very controversial whether or not whether fruit belongs on pizza. I shouldn't say that because tomato is technically a fruit. But anyway, sweet food belong on pizza. I am team pineapple on pizza. Are you team pineapple on pizza? Don't unsubscribe just because you don't like pineapple on pizza, please. But I understand if you must go. We will move on and survive. But my actual... Adam, are you laughing at me? Oh, no, I thought he was laughing at me. I think he's close kind of podcasting, but that was really funny timing. My favorite kind of Hawaiian pizza, though, is from Donato's, which is a chain that I think is primarily in the Midwest. And I live on the West Coast. We don't have Donato's out here. It's very sad. But Donato's Hawaiian pizza, really, really thin, crispy crust. And it's kind of like more shredded ham. And it has pineapple, of course. But then it also has slivered almonds and cinnamon sprinkled on it. And it is the bomb.com. Yes, I just said that. It is one of my favorite foods in the world. And anytime we happen to be back in Ohio, I'm like, listen, we have to get Donato's. I love Donato's pizza, Hawaiian pizza, so much. And the closest Donato's, it's states away. It's nowhere near. Like, there's no possibility of me getting Donato's here. I really love it. I love it a lot. And I know that may make me weird, but seriously, it's my favorite kind of pizza. Anyway, I have tried making it, yes, at home myself, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. How did I get on this tangent? I was just talking about our visit down to see Adam's parents. But yeah, so I feel confident that I'm on the road to recovery. I don't feel like I've been hit by a train. I am coughing less. At least it doesn't hurt. I'm not wheezing as much. I can sleep. These are all things that I am extremely grateful for. Frankly, it's when I try to talk more, like when I do videos, that's when I find myself coughing. And it just is what I do. A cough drop. I have water nearby, all those kinds of things just to try to help mitigate. I used my inhaler before I started. But I was thinking about how, this had gotten so bad and just sort of feeling generally frustrated as I thought about it more, about being blown off. That was one of the reasons that it took me so long to actually go into the urgent care and be seen in person, is because I had done a telehealth appointment on the Monday prior to the Sunday that I actually went in. So 6 days before I went in person. I had a cough for over a week at that point, and I had called my doctor's office, and they said, well, it's a cough, which is, what symptoms. They said, we have to start with the telehealth appointment. I said, fine. My doctor wasn't in that day. I had to see someone else in the practice, and I just felt really blown off. And like, well, it sounds like you just have an upper respiratory bug, and it may turn into bronchitis, but you just have to wait it out. And, your kiddo has it, so it's, blah, blah, blah. And, I know that this is a common thing. And it was a female doctor, so I don't think it was like a woman being blown off because I'm a woman, because that is an actual documented thing, that women aren't taken as seriously by medical professionals and that sort of thing compared to men. I also know that some doctors won't take you seriously if you are overweight, and they'll point to your weight as always being the issue. And I am overweight, and that's not what happened here, to be fair. But I'm aware of the different biases that can be at play, and I'm really grateful that my actual primary care physician, my dedicated primary care physician, has always made me feel heard and has never made me feel blown off. Like, I just feel very seen and very validated by her, and like we just click. So, I'm not ultimately blaming the doctor that I saw for this telehealth appointment. It's still on me to be listening to my body and going, something isn't right. I really should go in. But I just kind of thought, well, I just need to treat the symptoms and power through. And that meant that, I mean, honestly, I probably otherwise would have gone in 3 or 4 days sooner to be seen in person. But when I did go in, you know, and I decided I needed to see someone and not just keep trying to write it out. And there's a reason I went to the urgent care in person instead of just calling the doctor's office again. So I thought, were they just going to tell me that I need to do telehealth again because it's a cough? Like, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me because how are you going to diagnose an upper respiratory issue and figure out if there's bronchitis or pneumonia going on if you can't listen to someone's lungs? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, sure, they can hear what's going on when they listen to you cough, but I have to think that that's still just not the same as being able, like, I mean, as in someone on the other end of a Zoom call listening to the sound of me coughing, not actually having a stethoscope to my chest, listening to my lungs. And so anyway, I just am feeling a little, I don't know, resentful, I guess, about that telehealth visit. And I don't know, just makes me want to make sure that I'm advocating for myself if I need to, and not in like a mean, rude way, because I have tons of respect for doctors and everything that goes into being a part of that profession. I'm not trying to be a Karen or a Google doctor expert or something like that whatsoever. I just that was a rare miss for me with a care provider. So I guess now I know. We're almost done kitting this up, by the way, you guys. Just a few more colors. And then I'm going to grab one of these canvases and we'll get a little start on it in this WIP and Chat. So thanks for bearing with me as far as just sort of listening to me catch my breath, sort of sounding a little congested still, and just sort of getting back to normal. We're getting there. And yeah, so I'm bound and determined to be healthy so I can enjoy the rest of my summer. So as far as how the kids are doing, they're doing well. Like I said, we visited family on Friday and the kids had fun with that. Connor was really tickled and he kept wanting, so this was a couple of Adam's aunts were in town. His mom's sisters were in town. And Connor kept wanting to, which I think is really common for kids his age, just really wanted to talk their ears off about this Roblox game that he's really into right now. And you could tell that both of these women are grandmas and have done the young grandchild thing recently, because even when I tried to redirect Connor and be like, oh, don't bother, Grant so-and-so, come and tell me about it. They're like, no, he's fine. He's totally fine. And didn't miss a beat. Do the smile and nod where even though you have no idea what this little kiddo is talking about, you just go, oh, that sounds cool. Or, oh, oh, that sounds cool. Or, yeah, tell me more. That sort of thing. And I really appreciated that. That made me feel, that just made me feel good, and made, of course, Connor just feel absolutely delighted. So I really appreciated that a lot. And Micah has been so sweet and so cute. He's still really loving summer school. They had another water day on Thursday, and that's just his absolute happy place. And we have this really funny story. I don't think I've mentioned it here before, but hold on a second. I'm taking a quick drink. So when he plays in the water, this has happened a couple of times, so it's not even a fluke, but there have been times when he's gotten water in his eye, like one of his eyes. Like when he was splashing out there, like Adam had the hose and was kind of pretending to spray him. Well, not just pretending, was actually spraying him a little bit and stuff like that. And there was one point where Micah got water in his eye and went to go wipe it out. But then what he did instead was he covered the eye that got water in it. He covered it with one hand and went, pirate. Like, he thought because he got water in the one eye that meant like, he's not going to be able to see. I'm going to have to be a pirate. And I thought that was just the cutest thing ever. Like, where did he pick that up? And so Adam was like, no, buddy, you're not gonna have to be a pirate. Let's wipe off your eye. But I just thought that was so ridiculously cute. I don't know where he comes up with this stuff, but he's just, his language has exploded. We've heard a lot of like spontaneous sentences and stuff lately, which has been really fun, and he's understanding more, and I think he's just delighting in being able to talk to us more, and I think it's resulted in a lot less a lot fewer meltdowns and that sort of thing, which is just what happens when he can't express himself the way that he wants to be able to. So I love that. It makes my heart so happy. Let's go ahead, you guys. We're all kitted up in here. We had 3 colors that didn't quite fit in little jars. So we have a big bag of 310, a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow. So I'm just going to tuck them up here in this pocket so I can refill as needed. I don't need this. I'm just gonna save it anyway. Okay, I've got some wax here. We're gonna use this acrylic pen. I love that they sent me a pink sparkly one. It's like, did they know? Did they somehow know? Which one should we start with? Ooh, that was just a little bit of drill trash. Let's see. Let's start with, maybe we'll start with this, the girl with the pearl earring here on top. Let's do that. So we'll start with this one here. Let me shift this actually. So we'll have this right in front of us, with those, and then we'll have our little painting. Let me adjust you because I can't paint on the table runner, but we can go right there. Okay. Let me load up my pen, and let's see, what was I talking about? Can I remember? Probably not. Might go with this pirate story. Okay, I think that was that. The other things, Connor. So as far as Connor goes, he has been recovering as well. He just finished up some antibiotics for an ear infection and seems to be feeling better. So I'm hoping we're gonna be able to start swim lessons this week. That didn't work. Let's try again. I don't usually use pink wax for my multi-placer, but there we go. We'll see. We'll try it. You guys, for this set, I may switch over to sort of my standard larger tray and pen with putty and stuff. But for this video, for us to get started, I'm just going to load up with what I have here because I don't have my other tools and stuff handy. So there we go. But Connor, Adam and I were just talking the other day about how Connor and Skip are still just ridiculously adorable together, and how we're generally amused that Connor managed to sort of, we say he just manifested the kitten personality that he expected to have. And like the way that Skip, who is a kitten that we got back in December, he was our Christmas kitten. Connor had been asking for a kitten for months, like I think over a year. And I was the holdout, quite honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I was the holdout here. And we did decide to get a kitten. Actually, you know, I'm just gonna pull this whole thing off because I'm gonna do this in one sitting. I'll finish after we finish our WIP and Chat. I do have these tweezers nearby. See, it looks like a little fuzzy there. Oh, okay. But Skip just behaves in such a chill manner that like you don't tend to expect from cats, I don't feel like. And we just joke that, you know, Connor sort of manifested the kitten personality that he wanted with Skip, because Skip just lets Connor do whatever to him. He is constantly wanting to sit in Connor's lap. Connor's his favorite human by far. And Skip is just really endlessly tolerant as well, and is really good even with Micah. Connor's, you know, we don't have to worry about rough hands or anything like that with Connor, but Skip is just, it's like we got the perfect cat. I feel really darn lucky about that. So yeah, no, we're loving our Skip time, and Adam is doing well too. And we've been talking a lot about the SAG-AFTRA strike that just started, which is the Screen Actors Guild. And that was kind of a big deal that they're striking, particularly because they're striking at the same time as the WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America. And the Writers Guild has been striking for longer, but they're striking for a lot of really similar reasons, you guys. And I've seen some kind of murmurings, like if you look in comment sections and stuff, which you should never look in the comment section, but I do, of people thinking that it's just actors or writers in Hollywood wanting to be greedy. But I would encourage you to read into it a little bit more, because there's quite a lot of concerning things going on there. For example, one of the things is, a lot of it, honestly, it has to do with AI and residuals for streaming. So because when all the contracts as they stand, as they're negotiated, everything was really designed before streaming was a thing. And so actors aren't typically getting paid any residuals for streaming, which is why streamers like Netflix and whatnot are able to do stuff and have subscription prices and everything be as cheap as they are, relatively speaking. Also, there's a lot going on with AI. There's a thing going around that I think is a really good example of this, where what producers are wanting to do is to be able to hire a background actor, basically like an extra, and pay them for one day of work, but it'll be in their contract that they'll scan these actors, faces and bodies or whatever. They get paid for one day of work, but then producers are allowed to use their image and their likeness and their voice in AI, or just like digitally replicate and modify using AI in the future, without paying residuals to the actors for the use of their likeness and voice and whatnot. And I don't think that's okay. And most writers and actors in Hollywood are not making the big bucks. They're making, what lower middle class people are making. It's absolutely crazy. And then producers are making just hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So it's one of those things, like I said, I'd encourage you to read up on, because truly the grand majority of actors and writers in Hollywood, they're not making anywhere near the amount of money that some people like to assume that they are. And the things that they're striking for are very legitimate. And I'm seeing this play out in so many spaces, AI that is. You're hearing about it from voice actors and authors, and just so many spaces. And like, that's why you won't see me showing AI artwork that I know is AI. It's getting so hard to tell. It's actually stressing me out quite a lot. It's so hard to tell. You won't see me showing it on my channel, to the best of my knowledge, because it's not regulated. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to buy from shops that have AI artwork. I just, as much as it's in my knowledge, I'm not going to buy artwork that I know was created with some form of AI. And I know it gets complicated, but I just don't feel right about buying it and financially supporting that when it's not regulated, and the implications are really scary. And it's happening. It's completely happening. And so I'm like, once it's regulated, then I'll feel a lot more at ease about it. But I just don't know, you guys. And like I said, especially now that it's getting harder and harder to tell, there was a shop that had put up a post earlier that was like, okay, we're gonna have these new releases from this artist. And it was very obviously AI artwork. And the artist's name was like so-and-so photography. And I clicked through to their page, and they're marketing all this as actual photography that they've done, but it's 100% AI and very misleading. And I have a major issue with that. And so I really, really value, at the very least, when shops are transparent about it. Like, please don't try to hide it. Like, please give us the knowledge so that we can make decisions that we feel good about making. And I will also say, you guys, I don't think the AI artists, I know there's several in the diamond painting community, They are very sweet and wonderful people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I know several. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I know I've heard about some of the good things that it's enabled them to do. It just, as a technology, this is where I personally have landed. But I'm also, you don't see me out here making a public stance against it, because I don't think that that's my place either. And I don't feel like I have the knowledge to even be able to do that anyway. I don't feel like that's the right thing to do. So I don't know. Wherever you land on it, just know I'm not judging you. I'm not, trying to say one thing is the right thing to do or anything like that. But it's messy. It's messy. And like I said, I feel like if there were regulations and legislation in place that protected people, I'd feel a heck of a lot better about it. And that goes across the board, not just with artwork, but again, like what we're talking about with movies and authors and voice actors and that sort of thing. So I don't want all these people to be replaced with cheap labor that has no creativity. So it's just, yeah. So anyway, randomish tangent. So what was that? Was there anything else I really wanted to talk about today? Let me see. Not really. I think that kind of did it. But yay, we kitted up that project. I am gonna see if I can just crank this little one out, and then I'm gonna hop back over to outside the sweet shop and make some tracks on it. I'm hoping maybe Monday will be the day that I finish it, if not hopefully Tuesday. So either today or tomorrow for you guys, depending on when you're watching. But as far as what's coming this week, the usual suspects. As long as UPS delivers on time, we'll have a Diamond Art Club sneak peek. And if I finish outside the sweet shop, maybe I'll try to get that review up this week. We shall see. I need to sit down with Anthony, and we're going to map out exactly what we want everything with wrapping up Summer with the Masters to look like, and then I can decide if I want to do my post reviews on my first 2 projects I completed. And you guys got a small shop haul, so I think unboxings and post reviews. I do have a lot of kits and other things that have come in that I'm looking forward to sharing. So feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so you can stay up to date with that content. And also, I did get a couple of messages this week asking me about my Patreon. Someone was saying that they didn't know how to access Patreon and how to join it, and they wanted to support me and stuff. So I excuse me, I try really hard not to go overboard with pushing or plugging my Patreon, because I don't know, I don't want that to be like something that feels pushed on or awkward. But I do have a Patreon, which is just it's like a subscription service you can use to you can join to support your favorite creators and creatives. Most creators will offer some perks and have different tiers, which is what I do. There's a basic level tier where you just get some regular weekly updates from me and get to help me with deciding on content and stuff like that. The next tier up, you get access to, I do a weekly vlog, and that's always, I really, really enjoy doing those. I show a lot of my face to get to see just a lot of what I'm up to during the week. And I chat a lot more, even more candidly than I chat here. And the top tier gets a monthly exclusive live stream, which I rarely do live streams in general publicly, but that top tier gets one, and they also get a quarterly gift. So I always have my Patreon linked in the description box of my videos, and you can click through. There's a Patreon app if you like, or there's just a website, which is how I typically use it to access, the creators that I support. And it's there, but please don't feel obligated. Just the fact that you took some time to watch this video is an incredible amount of support, and I appreciate you a lot. So just wanted to mention that, though, because I'd gotten a couple of messages about it, and I don't think I talked about it in a WIP and Chat recently, to my remembering anyway. But yeah, otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, feel free to subscribe. Especially if you made it all the way to the end. Oh, and if you made it all the way to the end, Let's see, what should our emoji be? Is there like a paintbrush or like a palette emoji or something similar? Something that sort of you'd associate with summer with the Masters or old classic artwork or something like that. Leave that if you made it all the way to the end. Okay, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope that you have an amazing start to your week. I'm just gonna finish off this black color. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go, and I will talk to you again really soon. All right, bye you guys.